Hello, guys. So today we'll be talking about a big failure. Okay. So this big failure is the NFTs and the metaverse. So back in October, you had, most of these people who were praising NFTs, who were praising the metaverse, were saying that this was the future of society. That the metaverse and NFTs were the future of society. You saw all over everywhere. You saw, you saw the metaverse, we're from the atheist post-human supporter the eyes, but they said, "Oh my God, finally we're getting our post-human life on a computer reality." Well, it has been confirmed that this experiment with this metaverse isn't really doing too well. It is costing Meta billions to even contain the metaverse. Okay, to even contain, and no one's using. I don't think anyone's even using it either. Okay, I don't think anyone's really using the metaverse. So you have a big failure right there. Okay, the metaverse. You also have the failure of the post-human society that most of these atheists hope happen in their lifetime. Because guess what? As I explained in other videos, atheists do not believe in any form of life after death. So therefore, they hope that this post-human society happens in their lifetime, which is always around 2050. It's always around 2050. They always predict that there will be a post-human, post-biological civilization. Okay, first of all, it is impossible to transfer your brain into a computer chip. Okay, because first of all, you have to transfer your consciousness, and since of course science denies any sort of metaphysical aspect of society, they will basically, no, we'll never be able to understand consciousness without understanding stuff, stuff that they stray away from every time, which is basically the metaphysical aspects of society, which they will always stray away from, okay? And say, there's no proof, okay? There's no proof of that, okay? But it's so sad that mostly people who support post-human society are mostly atheists, okay? Every person who supports, this post-human society are atheists, okay? Which is not a soccer. And if you go on to the threads about immortality by 2050, immortality by, blah, blah, blah this year, by 1200 Veda Metaverse, or blah, 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 or post-human society, where we basically get our brains uploaded into a computer chip. Well, I'm sorry to say, but no one has an interest in a post-human society. And you have these even saying, the world's too religious. That's the problem. Okay? No, the world isn't batshit crazy enough to accept your ideas to abandon humanity in favor of machines. Okay? This isn't the Terminator, guys. Okay? This is real life. And we have parents complaining about, OMZ, you're too much on the screens. But then you have and then you of course have these people who really want to be in a computer simulation for the rest of eternity. And let's go over the post-human paradox. So let's say, for example, you achieve immortality, quote unquote, from a post-human society. Okay, you still have the inevitable heat death of the universe, which is mostly, by these people, say that it's gonna happen. So that means that means they're still gonna die anyways. And according to atheists, you cease to exist. So your cessation, unless you find some way to create a new universe or time travel or mess up reality so the heat death of the universe doesn't happen. Well, you really have screwed yourself up because you'll be living trillions of years, and you'll probably be huddled by on a really tight on the last source of energy in the universe until, of course, you eventually fade out of existence. Of course, that's what you want from your post-human society. Okay, that's what they really want. Okay, again, but they say, but the experience would be worth it. Okay, yeah, being stuck in a computer simulation for trillions of years, not getting the everlasting peace you really deserve, and slowly fading away until you just don't exist anymore. Sounds like a cruel and horrible fate. Okay, they always say, well, you wouldn't want to be immortal. Okay, you wouldn't. Okay, and the same thing with the quote unquote post human society. Okay, and they're gonna talk about there's so much benefits from a post human society. Okay, so much benefits. Okay, what benefits? Okay, that you don't die. That's the only real benefit to abandon humanity. And most of these people also probably have extremely low birth rates as well, which is probably no surprise because they're more concerned about trying to get into trying to become a machine than actually be a real person. Okay, maybe that's why your parents are trying to tell their kids to stop being on the tablet so much, stop being on the screen so much, because most of these people eventually become post-human zealots and want to become a part of a simulation. Okay, they want to become a part of the simulation. But what if a post-human society happens, okay, it will be an invisible thing. Okay, it will be an invisible thing as well. And let's not forget that if you're on a computer chip, what if the sun wipes you out? Okay, what if a massive solar flare happens? Okay, and knocks out all electricity throughout the earth? That means you die. And of course, that's what happens when of course, you get shut down and the computer breaks. Okay. Like they don't understand these logical fallacies. But if he somehow survives to the very end of the universe, okay, somehow survive, it will just be a very, very, very cool and foreboding existence. Okay. But gladly, people at this very moment don't care and don't want this society. The metaverse is failing. NFTs are looked down upon as stupid. Okay? Even stuff like cryptocurrency is looked down upon like why. Okay? And I have nothing against cryptocurrencies. I think cryptocurrencies do work. Okay? I think, could work. A currency that's created without any government intervention whatsoever, I think is a pretty good idea. But stuff like NFTs, they're frowned upon. Metaverse is costing, Facebook/Meta billions of dollars a year. And they even changed the whole name to basically support the metaverse, which is basically just a post-human society, is what they're pushing for. And you have all these times it was like most of these atheists will pull out, this timetable of immortality by 2050. You will achieve immortality, okay, by 2050. You will achieve immortality by X year, okay. And most of the time they'll just talk about, you'll be able to upload your brain to a computer, okay, and stuff like that. But yeah, and I have nothing against atheists, okay. But again, if you look at the demographics of these post-human people, you can tell that most of them are atheists, okay? Most of them are basically atheists, okay? And the difference between, there are different kinds of atheists as well as those people who are not religious. Even then, they are not atheists either. People that don't care about religion or don't want to do anything with religion is much different than hardcore atheists. Okay, they're the ones I'm talking about. The ones who believe that there's no such thing as an afterlife because therefore we must believe in this post-human dream. Okay, to become a machine. Okay, and that life is destined to become post-biological. Okay, and that we must abandon the meat puppets, okay, in order to be free. If you really think about this, makes no sense whatsoever. So yep, that's basically it. Goodbye.